Yeah, how's it going, everyone? Yeah, welcome to lesson 1 of NodeJS for beginners. So yeah, today I'm going to be teaching you about how to create a server. Basically, we're going to be exploring the HTTP module. We're going to keep it simple so that I can ease you into the different topics. So yeah, the idea is just to give you bit by bit, improve your understanding little by little, and in the end we will create something more complex so that you can build upon your knowledge. Okay, so I'm gonna start first by creating a JavaScript file. Okay, so you can do it in different ways. You can do it here on the terminal. If you're using Windows, then you can say type null, and then you just say I'll say lesson-1. You can call it whatever you want, .js. Okay, and then if I go over here, now one thing that you also need to make sure of is that you're in the right directory, right? So right now I'm in the pre-tutorial script. That is a directory where I basically put all my files for my tutorial. So here it is over here. Before it wasn't there. Just to make an example, I will show you. I'll create another one just so that you could see. Say no. No, say lesson-2. Okay. See, I just created another one here. Okay, and one thing I need to remember is to increase the size so that everything is nice and clear for you guys. Okay, so I just created that, but otherwise you can just basically click on the right directory and then say new file, and then it will create a new file. You can just say new file there, lesson-3.js, and then you will have another file there. Okay, or you can just delete. If you want to delete, then it's quite simple. You just right click and then you say delete. Okay, so that's quite simple. So I will just clear my terminal here. So one thing that you can do is that you can also run JavaScript on your terminal. How you would do that is by typing node and then pressing enter. So now this means that you can start writing your JavaScript and then running it. So I'll say let num equal to 12. Okay, that is basic JavaScript, and then if I write num, then it will give me the value of num, and then I can say let num2 equal to num1 plus 25. Let's see what that does. Say num2, that's 37. Okay, now this is basic JavaScript that you should be familiar with. You know, in order to watch the tutorial, I assume that you are already familiar with JavaScript. If not, check out my tutorial on JavaScript for beginners, and then you can come back to this one. Okay, so that's one thing that you can do. Another thing that you can do, which is a neat trick, if you want to see all the classes that you can get in Node.js, then you should be familiar with the tab button. If you just press it twice like that, then you can see the entire class that comes with Node.js. So when you install it, you will get all of this. No need to reinstall, or these are not third-party libraries. Okay, so the ones that start with capital letters, these are JavaScript classes, and the ones that start with small letters are Node.js classes. And today we're going to be focusing on this one in particular, HTTP. Okay, Control C twice, and then you come out, and I'm going to clear my terminal again so that I can start on a clean slate too. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open my file, basically get our HTTP module. In order for you to use it in your file, you have to require it first. So I will say const and then I'll say HTTP equals to require HTTP. All right, so now that we have created our variable, then I will say console.directory, and then I will say HTTP, and then I will say depth, Now let's see what that does. I will explain this once I've run it. Okay, so there we go. So basically what this does, by using console directory instead of console.log, I can control how much information this reveals. If I had logged it, then it would have shown so much information that it would just be verbose, you know, so that's not what I'm looking for. So if you want to check out a specific, if you want to maybe look at like 3 levels of what a class has, then you can control it with depth, you know. So yeah, this is just the first level, if that makes any sense. Okay, so I will create a basic server. I'll say const server equals to http dot create server, and then in here I will have a callback that takes an argument of request response. All right, now basically when you create a server, you can specify the type of information that you want to retrieve or that you wanted to read. You can read JSON files, you can read plain text files, you can read HTML. So basically when you get to, this is what you would use in order to control how you want to display your information. If you want to display the requested information as an HTML on an HTML file, then you would specify that in the type of content that you want to display. And how we go about that is that we use the response argument. We say response.writeHead. Okay, and then here we will write the status code, which is 200. And then in here, then we will have a an object, and in here you can specify the content type, right? So here we want to use, we'll basically use JSON. Okay, we want to have JSON as the content type. So say application/JSON. Okay, so I will use that. And then what we want to do, then I'll just display some information. So we're gonna run the server, and then after running the server, then we will go to the browser and see what it does there, you know, on which port it is running and what information is displayed there. So as a start, then we will just display simple information that will say hello superheroes. All right, so that's what we want to say. All right, so now we have our server, but we're still not done. In order for us to run the server, we have to basically listen to it. Okay, so we say server.listen. Otherwise, if we don't specify a port to listen to, then there's no way. It's like, just think about the radio, you know, you have to have a specific wave that you tune into. So the port is basically the port that we will use in order to display our information and to seal the information that is being requested and being retrieved from the server. Okay, so I'll say server.listen. Then here I will specify the port, so you can use any number that you want, really. So I'll just say 3030 just for simplicity's sake, and then I will add a callback. Now on this callback, we're just gonna basically log some information to show that we are logged in. So I'll say server running. I'll say on port 3030. All right. So yeah, hope everything is done correctly. So now I'm gonna run this and we'll see what results we get. Clear. Yeah, I don't know why I did do that, but anyway, never mind. Lesson 1. Okay, so now we're gonna go to our port and then check. Say local. There we go. So we've got the message there, hello superheroes, that is displayed. So that is the message that we wrote here. So we in business. I'll change it just to show that this is the real thing, that I'm not faking this. So I'll just close it and then run it again. Refresh. We see there's the information there. Okay. So if I wanted, I could also, since I specified that I would like to use JSON, I would like to be able to retrieve JSON, then I could also create an object here. I'll say let person equal to, okay, I'll just create an object here. I'll say name. I'll give it a name of Tabo, and then I'll say age. Okay, just I'll say 56, and then address 12115 Fig Tree Avenue. Okay, right. Okay, that is actually supposed to be a string, so there we go. Okay, so if I wanted, then I could also just display that information there instead. So I could just say, I'll say JSON.stringify, and then I'll say person, right? So basically that'll take that information and it will display that there instead. Okay, so let's run our server again. If I come here, then you see, so now we've got our JSON object which has been stringified. Okay, so that's basically what you could do. Okay, so basically with all that we've done, okay, I will just comment this out for now. Okay, to just try to explain what's going on here. Okay, so with all this information that has been specified, now with request, you can basically see the headers. Now every time you run a server, you can actually access the headers to actually see, for instance, on which port are we running. Okay, so I'm just going to say request.header, and then I'll say .host. See, at the moment the local host that we're running on is the port is 3030. Okay, so I'm just going to console.log this. Okay, I just want you to see what this does, because this is going to tie into what we're going to do later, because you can use the request information to specify the URL or to specify the path. For instance, when you go to a particular page and you want to display certain information, then you can already program that so that when you're in a particular path, then only certain information will be requested or displayed on your browser. Okay, so I will say, okay, this is a request. Okay, I'll just say host. Let's just say okay, so let's run that and let's see what that does. So you see, here's our host over here. This is the local host that we're running on, port 3030. This is the one that we specified here. Okay, so there are basically many things that you could do here. Okay, so now I've just displayed the host. Then I'm gonna, let's see, what else can we check out here? I'll see the URL. Say URL. Okay. Okay, as you can see, this is our URL. So this is basically the path, because there's nothing else. This is basically like that, you know, it means the same thing. So that is our URL right there. So yeah, so basically with this information, you can use it for different purposes, you know, to display specific information according to which path you're on. So now the next step would be to basically retrieve information. Now in order for us to do that, then we're going to need the use of files. Now this is where things become interesting, because then you can basically read information from certain files. You can say that, okay, when I'm on the home page, then this is the information that I want you to display. You can make it plain text. It could be HTML. it could be JSON files, it doesn't really matter. Okay, so with all of that said, I'm just going to leave it there. Love and peace, my brothers and sisters. Till the next one, I'm out.